is encrypted.
Record highest single-day recoveries at 56,101, 10 from the COVID-19 in India, and meeting of expert committee on vaccine administration of COVID-19 take place today. Recovery rate crosses 70%, death rate falls below 2%. One terrorist gunned down in Pulwama encounter in Jammu and Kashmir, one soldier martyred, search operation continues. Security forces kill 4 Naxalites in Sukma encounter in Chhattisgarh. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu releases book on Subhash Chandra Bose, says the courage and leadership shown by Netaji during freedom movement is an inspiration for youth. Calls youth on International Youth Day to get inspiration from the life of Netaji in building a new India. Violence breaks out in East Bangalore over a controversial and objectionable post on social media. Police fires at mob creating arson and stone pelting. 2 people dies, 110 arrested. Curfew imposed in violence-hit areas. Those shared are also taken under police custody. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch the platform for transparent taxation. Honouring the honest tomorrow launch will further carry forward the journey of direct tax reforms. Nation celebrates World Elephant Day today. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar says India has nearly 60% of wild Asian elephants because we revere and are more tolerant and affectionate towards animals. And nation celebrates festival of Janmashtami with great pomp and religious fervour. President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion. Namaskar and welcome all of you. You're watching DD News. I am Kiran Jha and presenting the evening top stories. The coordinated efforts of the centre and state and UT's governments have resulted in continuously increasing average daily recoveries. With more patients recovering and being discharged from hospitals and home isolation in case of mild and moderate cases, the total recoveries have crossed the 16 lakh mark to 16 lakh 39,599. The recovery rate has reached another high of 70.38%. With a consistent and sustained increase in recoveries, the gap between recovered patients and active COVID-19 cases has reached nearly 10 lakh. Besides, the case fatality rate, CFR, has been low when compared to the global average. It is currently standing at 1.98%. India's test, track and treat strategy has achieved another peak with 7,33,449 tests done in the last 24 hours. This has taken the cumulative test to more than 2.6 crore. The meeting of expert committee on vaccine administration was held today under the chairmanship of Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul today to consider logistics and ethical aspects of procurement and administration of COVID-19 vaccine. The committee aimed to reach out to all stakeholders, including state governments and pharmaceutical companies. Public and the private sectors are working hand in hand on conducting human trials of potential vaccines. It also aims to chalk out strategies on the aspects of prioritization of the vaccine administration once it is developed, rollout and cold chain logistics and training of the people who would be administering it. The Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Investigation for the year 2020 have been awarded to 121 police personnel. This medal was constituted in 2018 with the objective to promote high professional standards of investigation of crime and to recognize such excellence in investigation by investigating officers. Among the personnel receiving these awards, 15 are from CBI, 10 each are from Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra Police, 8 are from Uttar Pradesh Police, 7 each are from Kerala and West Bengal Police, and the remaining from the other states and UTs. These include 21 women police officers. And now moving on for next story. In Jammu and Kashmir, one terrorist has been shot down during an encounter in Pulwama this morning. A joint operation was launched on Tuesday evening by Jammu and Kashmir Police and Indian Army in Budgaon. Cordon was laid and contact established by forces after Operation Kamrazipora in Budgaon started. One AK along with grenades, Porsches and other warlike stores have been recovered. One soldier laid down his life in the line of duty. The search operation is in progress. 4 Naxals were killed in an encounter with the security forces in Chhattisgarh's insurgency-hit Sukma district. The encounter took place in the jungles of Jagargunda in Sukma district. It was a joint operation by Cobra 201 223 Battalion of CRPF and District Reserve Guard. Huge catch of weapons including a 303 rifle have been recovered from the site of encounter. Moving on, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today released a book, Netaji, India's Independence and British Archives, in New Delhi. The book was authored by Dr. Kalyan Kumar De. The book depicts the life and contribution of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Speaking on the occasion, the Vice President said the book is a valuable addition to the vast published works on India's freedom movement and general and the contribution of Netaji to the freedom struggle in particular. The Vice President urged youth to take inspiration from life of Netaji and strive towards building new India.
On this occasion, I call upon the youth to take inspiration from the lives of Sri Subhash Chandra Bose and strive towards building a new India, a strong, stable, prosperous and egalitarian India.
Referring to the COVID-19 pandemic, Vice President underscored that India needs to build a resilient and self-reliant economy to fight with new emerging challenges of the world with help of its youth potent.
It is certain that the post-pandemic world will not be the same. While COVID-19 has brought into sharp focus the need for coordinated and concerted action globally to prevent the outbreak of such pandemics in future, it has at the same time also underlined the urgency for countries like India to build a resilient economy by becoming truly self-reliant.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the platform for transparent taxation, honoring the honest tomorrow. The upcoming launch of the platform for transparent taxation honoring the honest by the Prime Minister will further carry forward the journey of direct tax reforms. The event will be attended by various chambers of commerce, trade associations, chartered accountants associations and also eminent taxpayers, apart from the officers and officials of Income Tax Department. The Central Board of Direct Taxes CBDT has carried out several major tax reforms in direct taxes in recent years. The focus of the tax reforms has been on reduction in tax rates and on simplification of direct tax laws. Several initiatives have been taken by the CBDT for bringing in efficiency and transparency in the functioning of the IT department. This includes bringing more transparency in official communication through the newly introduced document identification number, wherein every communication of the department would carry a computer-generated unique document identification number. Similarly, to increase the ease of compliance for taxpayers, IT department has moved forward with pre-filling of the income tax returns to make compliance more convenient for individual taxpayers. Compliance norms for startups has also been simplified with a view to provide for resolution of pending tax disputes. The IT department also brought out the Direct Tax Vivad Se Vishwas Act 2020, under which declarations for settling disputes are being filed currently. Now coming for the next development, former President Pranab Mukherjee's health condition continues to remain critical. Presently, he is hemodynamically stable and on ventilator. The former president is admitted in Army's Research and Referral Hospital at Delhi Cant. He had underwent emergency surgery for brain clot on Monday. Earlier on Monday, he also had tweeted that he had tested positive for COVID-19. In Karnataka, violence broke out in the eastern Bangalore on Tuesday night over a controversial and objectionable post on the social media by a relative of Congress MLA. At least 2 people have died due to the violence. Violence broke out in DJ Halli Kaval by Sandra over the post hurting the religious sentiments. Congress MLA Akhand Srinivas Murthy's nephew Naveen is accused of posting the objectionable post on social media. Local youth in the area gathered and attacked MLA's house. They also burnt police vehicles and attempted to torch the house. The relative of MLA who posted on objectionable post on social media has taken into custody. Violence spread to surrounding areas and police opened fire to disperse the mob. 3 persons died while many others injured in police firing. Karnataka Home Minister Basavaraj Bommai reviewed the situation and ordered police to bring law and order in control in the area. More than 110 people have been arrested till now in connection with violence in Bangalore.
3 people have died and many arrests have been made. More than 110 people have been already arrested. The further action is going on. And today evening, there is a high-level meeting along with the Chief Minister, with the senior officers. We are going to take the further course of action, what to be done. Then we have asked for, we are in touch with the Central Home Ministry, and we asked 3 platoon of CRPF from Hyderabad and 3 from Chennai. They are already in Bangalore.
Commissioner of Police Bangalore Kamal Pant assured that the situation in the city is under control. Section 144 has been imposed in whole city and additional forces have also been deployed.
Now the situation is completely under control. We have imposed curfew in 2 police station limits, that is KG Halli and DJ Halli, and in the remaining city 144 section has been imposed. We are getting 4 companies of CRPF, RF and CSF from outside state. We have arrested 110 people. They would be produced before the court.
UP CM Yogi Adityanath visited BRD Medical College in Gorakhpur. He took stock of the arrangements in the place for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. He told officials to ensure the setting up of a 300-bed COVID section meets the deadline of 30th August.
BRD मेडिकल कॉलेज में 200 बेड का सुपर स्पेशलिटी ब्लॉक में डेडिकेटेड कोविड हॉस्पिटल चल रहा है। इस बाल संस्थान के भवन को भी 300 बेड का एक नया डेडिकेटेड कोविड हॉस्पिटल के रूप में बनाने की तैयारी के लिए मैंने विभाग को निर्देशित किया है। ये भवन निर्माणाधीन है। 30 अगस्त तक इसको हर हाल में निर्माण करने के लिए कहा गया, तैयार करने के लिए कहा गया है। मेडिकल एजुकेशन को यहाँ पे जो भी इक्विपमेंट आदि लगने हैं, खासतौर पर वेंटिलेटर, हाई फ्लो, नेजिल कनुला जो बहुत प्रभावकारी है इस कोरोना 19 में, तो उसकी दृष्टि से यहाँ पर उनको उन इक्विपमेंट की कमी न पड़ने पाए, किसी प्रकार की कोई दिक्कत न होने पाए।
Two light combat helicopters have been deployed by Air Force at LAC in Ladakh. The Air Force Vice Chief had taken part in a stimulation last Friday where the LCH took off from a high altitude base and targeted at a forward location. These two attack helicopters are part of limited series production or LSP, which HAL has started manufacturing in anticipation of an order from Air Force because price negotiations and the trials are already over. The light combat helicopters LCH is a potent weapon platform for high altitudes and can operate by night as well as day. World Elephant Day is being celebrated today to bring attention of various stakeholders to support various conservation policies to help elephants. The majestic Asiatic elephant is revered in Indian religion and culture and is an intrinsic part of the geographic landscape. The Environment Minister is in a tweet said, and I quote, India has nearly 60% of wild Asian elephants, not just because of strong wildlife laws, but because we Indians revere and are more tolerant and affectionate towards animals. On this World Elephant Day 2020, let us reaffirm this bond of coexistence with health. Hathi Hamare Sathi. There is some good news from animal lovers, and the tiger conservation efforts were further boosted after a tigress named Sheila gave birth to 3 cubs in Siliguri's Bengal Safari Park. With this, the total number of tigers in Bengal Safari Park has reached to 7. This information was provided by Dharamdev Rai, Director of Bengal Safari. It may also be noted that at the time of her first delivery, Sheila gave birth to 3 cubs on 11th May 2018 in the Bengal Safari Park itself. However, one of the cubs died within 6 months. Now moving on for the next story, in Kerala, the death toll in Idukki landslide has gone up to 55. 3 bodies recovered today. In Pittumudi near Rajamala, NDRF firefighters and the police department personnel are engaged in search operations of the missing people. These people have been missing since August 7. And with a let-up in the rains, water receded in many low-lying areas and Kottayam and Alappuzha districts. Now let's see news from the Bihar related to flood. There is no improvement in flood situation in Bihar. A population of 75 lakhs spread over 1,260 panchayats in 16 districts are still flood affected. The worst affected districts are Darbhanga, Samastipur, Saharsa, Muzaffarpur and East Champaran. The Tarai region of Nepal has received heavy rainfall since last night. At present, the water level of all the major rivers are either receding or has become static. As many as 33 NDRF and SDRF teams are engaged in rescue and relief work, over 9.5 lakh people are being provided with cooked food through community kitchen. Around 12,000 people are living in semi-relief camps, and many of the districts have received moderate rainfall since last night. Water is locked in several low-lying city areas of Patna. Now moving on for international news, the US presidential candidate Joe Biden has named Indian-American Kamala Harris as his vice presidential pick. In addition to being the first black woman on a major party's presidential ticket, she is also the first Indian American. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, was born in Chennai, and she was a widely respected breast cancer researcher who immigrated to the United States from India in the 1960s. Kamala Harris and her sister would accompany their mother often to meet their grandparents and aunt, Sarala Gopalan, at their home in Chennai. Her family in India is elated at the announcement. Gopalan Balachandran, Harry's 80 years old maternal uncle, said he was very, very happy with this news.
It's a historic day in a number of ways for the Indian community, for the first time getting to a high political position. They are already big, high administrative position. The Surgeon General, the head of the National Engineering Institute, they are all Indians. So they already reached high position, but this is a high political position of national importance, which is good.
Let's now take a look at the rise of Kamala Harris from the alleys of the Auckland to potentially the corridors of power at the White House.
Former US Vice President Joe Biden has selected Kamala Harris as his running mate. She will be the first Asian American to run for Vice President. Harris, a 55-year-old first-term senator, is also one of the party's most prominent figures and quickly became a top contender for the number 2 spot after her own White House campaign ended. Biden, who had spent 8 years as Vice President during Barack Obama's tenure, had pledged in March only to select a woman as his Vice President. Announcing Harris's candidature, Biden said in a tweet, "Back when Kamala was Attorney General, she worked closely with Bew," Biden said, referring to his late son, who was Attorney General of Delaware when Harris held the post in California. "I watched as they took on the big banks, lifted up working people, and protected women and kids from abuse. I was proud then, and I am proud now to have her as my partner in this campaign." Harris has a close relationship with many people in the Obama administration orbit and had worked alongside Biden's late son, Bew, when both served as state attorneys general. Kamala Harris's life, from being an immigrant family into the US to running for the second highest post in the same country, is a story of grit, struggle, and untiring spirit of practicing what she has believed in. Born in Oakland to a Jamaican father and Indian mother, Harris won her first election in 2003 when she became San Francisco's district attorney. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan Harris, was a breast cancer researcher who left India to get her doctorate at the USA, and her father, Donald Harris, was an economist who taught at Stanford University. Kamala Harris graduated from Harvard University and the University of California, Hastings College of the Law. In 2016, Harris was selected to the US Senate, becoming the first African American and the first woman to work as Attorney General in California. She sought the Democratic Party's nomination for president in 2019, later withdrew, and on Tuesday was tapped to stand for Vice President on the Democratic ticket with Joe Biden. Recently, when protests filled streets across the US to rage against the killing of George Floyd and other African Americans in police custody, Harris was one of the first lawmakers to join the protests herself. She appeared in front of the White House and on Washington, D.C.'s newly designated Black Lives Matter Plaza. Many in the US believe that her activism during these protests strengthened her public image as a rights activist and helped her reclaim her political strength after her not-so-impressive presidential campaign. Bureau Report, DD News.
And today is Janmashtami, the festival of Krishna. Janmashtami, which marks the birth of Lord Krishna, is being celebrated in some parts of the nation today. To mark the auspicious occasion, people decorate cradles and place Krishna's idol in it. While welcoming Krishna's arrival with sweets and savories, Janmashtami celebrations began on Tuesday. Krishna Puja is usually conducted at midnight, hence the celebrations continue today. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted the nation on this auspicious occasion of Janmashtami. The Independence Day event is being marked by musical performances by the bands from the Army, Navy and the Indian Air Force. The band of Tri-Service of Indian Armed Forces is giving musical performance at various places across the country ahead of Independence Day. Let's take you live to the Bhopal, where Indian Army is presenting the musical performance. Earlier, one such musical And that was the band performance from Bhopal you were just watching, and it was performed by the Indian Armed Forces. And with that, we are closing this edition of Doordarshan News, but keep watching for national and international update. Till then, namaskar.